I can't hear you, Carlos.
Yes, you can hear me now. Yes, no?
Yes.
How about there?
Yes, I can.
Okay, perfect. Guys, we're just wishing you a very good morning. Hopefully you guys had a great day. Hopefully you're having an amazing morning today. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm looking confused here just because you were cutting in and out, so I'm not sure if it's my connection or your connection or. Anyways, the people will tell us.
I hear you pretty
the people
good.
know.
Yeah, they sure will.
Oh, apparently it's your connection, according to Dan. So, in any event, yeah. Good morning. I had a good day yesterday. You know, I'm having a good week. Not you know, maybe it's just you know, like some leftover birthday vibes. Feeling good, having a good time this week. You know, I should go get my birthday balloon. Put it in the background, just for fun. Everybody likes a balloon, right? Maybe it'll get me some likes. Anyways, yeah, pretty, you know, not much happening. Pretty light day. Very busy day for me yesterday. And thank you to everybody at Peak Capital Trading. I did some live trading into the close yesterday, so that was a lot of fun. And today, I don't know. Today, I'm hoping that we get not Friday trading, because usually Friday trading means that it sort of, you know, gets boring very quickly. So I'm hoping we just have exciting price movement right through to the close. But we'll find that out together.
We sure will. Hopefully the connection is good now, friends, and it's not choppy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to today. It should be a lot of fun. FOMC meeting was great yesterday. Powell did amazing. He was awesome. Really enjoyed his stuff yesterday. And yeah, let's see how the market plays out today, given everything going on there. Quick look at our gappers list, friends. We do have a bunch in gapping down this morning. So some giving away some of their earnings over the last couple of hours here. So yeah, we'll see what's that all about. And then gapping up, we got some of our buddies here. UPST, old one from the blast from the past there. SMCI is looking good. NNE, we've been talking about this back on the map here, is up 3.5 this morning. So we'll dive into what's moving these up. And then I don't see a lot of our usual suspects on here, but you know, we'll be talking about NVIDIA, Tesla, and those other good stocks that have been trading extremely well over the last couple of days. All right, Peter, before we do that, you're second there. What is going on for today?
Yeah, well, let's start with yesterday. You mentioned the earnings. It was, you know, eagerly anticipated. The latest earnings announcement from the Fed came out exactly as expected. Quarter point drop. So prime interest rate in the U.S. is now 4.75%. And the market, surprisingly, really just said, yeah, whatever. Like it was already built in. We get that. Remember, I was saying like almost 98% of all analysts expected the quarter point drop. So there really was no surprise in it. But I was surprised at how little the market really moved. Like you saw the surge in volume, but I mean, really, it bounced in a very, very tight range and was like done, you know, with barely a peep. The press conference happened as usual. And at one point, there's always one point during every Powell speech where some algo or analyst decides they don't like what he's saying and the market drops. And it dropped, but again, in a very sort of muted fashion, and then, of course, bounced right back up. So that's pretty predictable. Yeah, really not much to talk about there. So that was all at 2 o'clock. Yeah, you can see like a little more, you know, 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, things got a little choppier, but didn't really go anywhere, right? Like it wasn't like there was any major type of activity. It just sort of, you know, bouncy up and down a little bit. So very weird, little weird. Like normally you expect a little more reaction than that. So, all right. Anyways, that was yesterday. Now today we are calming down with the economic events. There's really not much to report. We have got a couple of Fed speakers that I guess feel it's safe now to get back out there. You notice that there's been no Fed speakers leading up to the elections and leading up to the Fed rate announcement. Makes sense, right? You don't want to be a Fed chair for one of the regional Federal Reserve branches and get blamed for influencing the election or creating problems in the market. So they were all very quiet for a while. But Bowman and Musalem from St. Louis, they're getting back out on the speaking tour. So we'll see more of these probably in the next week or so. The only thing to report of note is consumer sentiment coming out at 10. I will say in Canada, we had employment reports that came out this morning. And normally you expect the employment change report that comes out. Previously, we had an extra 46,000 jobs. The forecast was for 28,000, but we only actually created half as many. Interesting that the Canadian economy seems to be slowing down quite significantly over the last couple of months, and even more than analysts had expected. So I probably doesn't mean much for the U.S. market at this point in time, but it was interesting to me. So let's take a look at what we've got from earnings, because there actually was some interesting earnings after the close yesterday. Not a lot that are hitting our gappers, I noticed this morning, but I'll talk about a few of them. And then we'll take, of course, anything on the gappers and see, we'll create a trading list out of it.
Yeah, we sure will. Let's take a look at the first one leading the way here, up 31% this morning. Float on this one, a little bit on the lower side, 27 million shares float is INOD. So INOD is Data. Looks like they're up slightly nicely this morning, 31%, 243,000. Peter, the party got going late last night, well, after the market closed last night, and it's been gains. Latest and greatest on this one.
Yeah, they had a late earnings call yesterday. Their Q3 earnings came out, and they had a 136% increase in revenue. Earnings were up 27%. So obviously, it was a good quarter for them. They put more cash away. So yeah, a lot of good stuff coming out of that. Their Q4, so Q4. Guidance looking forward is at the high end. So they're guiding towards the high end of analyst expectations, which represents about a 90% increase year over year. So yeah, Data, not one I have to admit that I've been following, but they are they're having a good time this morning. I still, it looks good. Like the gap is nice. I don't think it's going to be a good trading stock. I mean, I've never traded it, so I can't say from firsthand experience. But just based on the low pre-market volume, only 244,000 shares so far, despite the fact being up 35%, it doesn't look great. So yeah, I'm probably not going to be watching this unless somebody in the chat room calls it out a little bit later, or it pops up on the trading terminal scanners.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with you on this one, man. It looks like the move is done, right? So I'm not sure how well it's going to end either. And let's take a look at the next one. Is DOCS, DOCS, on the list here this morning, up 30%, 225,000 shares traded. Not a low flow this time, but also just not one that looks like it's going to trade well. They're just might not get the volume, and their daily says it all. Look how light the volume is. Usually 1.6 million shares, what I'm kind of ballparking here, that they get on a single trading day, which is not a lot. Today you might see a little bit higher, but not by much. Don't see a whole lot happening here for us.
Yeah, once again, an earnings play here. They had their earnings and got a couple of upgrades this morning. KeyBank and Wells Fargo both upgraded them with wildly different price targets. Interestingly, Wells Fargo upgraded them, but only gave them a $41 price target, whereas KeyBank at least is ahead of the current price at $70. But big range there, where analysts saying everywhere from $19 to 70. So yeah, once again, one of these, probably not going to look at it, not going to trade type stocks for me.
Yeah, moving down to the next one, UPST, a stock that we know very well. It can be fun. We traded this plenty of times in the past. Upstart this morning, up 10%, got going after hours last night. Huge pop all the way to 69. Slightly below that 66 this morning, but looking good, Peter, this morning. Tons of volume. I'll probably keep this one on my list. What's the news driving them today?
Yeah, earnings again. So good pipeline growth, strong revenue and bottom line earnings in the quarter. They also got an upgrade from Piper Sandler this morning with an $85 price target. So moving that well up above the current prices. Upstart has been a decent trader in the past, but I'll say in the past because Carlos, I can't remember the last time I actually sort of actively watched this, but I know that it can trade when it decides, when people decide to jump into it and give it some volume, but it hasn't been recent. So I'm not sure what to do with it. I might keep it on a secondary unless we find something better, which we probably will. But I do like this gap way up above, the recent price action. I don't think we're in all-time highs. No, like we were higher back in 2023 and during the pandemic, most certainly, when it was up like, oh my God, I forgot that. It was up over $400 back in 2021. So yeah, the upstart has has lots of upside if it chooses to.
Yeah, it sure does. I'm going to put it here on my list. Probably a secondary because again, it's a hit or miss. If I don't find anything that looks better, I will move it right back up there. So on a secondary for now, it does have a lot of potential here. Take a look at the next one, TOST. So Toast is on here, up 11.1, 311,000 shares traded. Big pop yesterday, has given some this morning in the pre-market hours. Peter, maybe earnings looks like just right after the close, it's got going.
Yeah, once again, because I have seen these guys pop up again 4 times a year, right? They seem to get on our list at earnings in the pre-market. Also never traded them. So, I mean, their average, well, their volume's not bad, about 5 million shares a day on average. So, there's some possibility there. I do like the 11% gap, but again, pre-market volume pretty low. So despite the strong earnings, doesn't look like enough to get me excited. It takes a lot to get me excited. This doesn't.
There we go. All right, let's take a look at the next one here. Yeah, I'm with you, Peter, on this one. Again, I think there's better things to look at. SMCI, no, this thing has been on fire for the last couple of days. Yesterday as well was on our list, and again, traded very, very well. And it tends to do this where it drops down and then it takes off here. And it did that yesterday, sold off a little bit, and then it took off, got above the pre-market highs. It actually reminds me exactly of the same trade that Andrew and myself and many of you guys took probably a week ago. Same thing, right? Came above the VWAP, did a little consolidation, and then just continued to break out above the pre-market highs and the high of the day at that time, right? So it trades well. It really does. I'm going to have it on my list again. It's got volume this morning. Nice gap up of 4.1. Worth watching. Peter, I don't think it's anything new, just overall news from the last couple of days.
Yeah, in fact, nothing new at all. They're actually surprisingly quiet. So the company has not been issuing any statements. I think they're purposely avoiding the media. They just don't want to risk making the situation worse, especially being that now their stock price has sort of stabilized. There's obviously more interest in them because the threat of delisting is still hanging over their head. And I was reading an article this morning where they're saying that they've got almost $2 billion or $1.7 billion worth of bond repayments that would have to be made if they did get delisted, if they did have to declare bankruptcy. So there would, two different things going on there, by the way. If delisted, they'd have to repay the bonds that were committed market. If they went bankrupt, which, by the way, I saw one analyst write about that, but it didn't seem very credible because, frankly, they still have an ongoing business, right? Like, there's nothing actually wrong with their underlying business. Their financial accounting is causing them problems, right? So I want to be clear on that. But for us, from a market perspective, it doesn't really matter, right? If they get delisted, they might as well, at least that's my perspective, right? Because if you're not publicly traded, you're dead to me. So, but anyways, yeah, SMCI has been in play.
Peter, what's that behind you?
Yeah, sure it has.
Yeah, it's my happy balloon. It's I went and fetched it. So there you go.
Sweet, man. Well. Sweet. Yeah. Absolutely, man. You can't celebrate one day. You got to go into the weekend, right? So it's like your happy weekend, just extend it out as much as you can. All right, friends. Let's take a look at the next one on here. It's going to be, and we might bounce around a little bit after this one because these other ones might not be that great. Here's was in play yesterday. Today, I don't see anything great on it. They trade very well, though. Look at the drop on this thing, right? So it really just sold off, gapped up, actually gapped down, and just continue on the weakness here. So yeah, there you see it, friends. Just not doing well. This morning, I don't think we'll have a whole lot of fun, and the volume's going to be a lot less. Peter, your thoughts on Wolf as it continues to show a lot of weakness?
Yeah, the only thing new, we talked about their earnings yesterday. The only thing new is they said they actually might be looking to cut some jobs. That was interesting. I mean, semis not normally cutting jobs, especially with this AI world out there, right? But remember, they're one of those ones, they seem to serve this automotive market that is slowing down and less demand for automotive chips, which is fascinating. I mean, it could be that they what do I want to say? Like they ramped up too much because you guys remember, like it's not that long ago when we had cars that were being sold without all of the functions being enabled because there weren't enough chips. Like there just were not enough chips out there to power some of the functions. I know I was looking at a car at one point, an SUV, and they said, "Well, it's got an automatic tailgate, but it won't work. The sensor to wave your foot or whatever under it won't work because we don't have the chips for it." So, but no, there's no discount on the car. So how times have changed, right? Where now they've got an overabundance of chips and they can't sell them, and they're going to look to lay people off. So it's amazing how that pendulum swings, right? The ebb and flow of the markets. It's fascinating to me. The longer I stay in the market, the more you see the same sort of trends repeat, right? But anyways, yeah. So Wolf probably, yeah. I think it's like you said, Carlos. Interesting news, but probably not going to be in play. Like I think we're like a day late here on it being active, and probably better off to watch our usual semis and SMCI to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to leave that one alone. Let's hop around a little bit here. I just want to get to DJT, then we'll take it to you, Peter. DJT this morning, a little bit of a bounce, right? It's been more on the weaker side, gapping down, sold off, gap down, sold off here. Same actually gapped up, sold off, gapped up, really sold off. And yesterday gapped up and again sold off. So a lot of selling off happening on DJT. We're going to be gapping up today as we go from red to green in the pre-market. This looks good. I like the volume. I like the movement we're getting here. We do have shares for short today, only 400,000. I like DJT, man. I haven't traded it yet, but there could be some opportunities here. So I'm going to put that on the list. Again, can't stress enough how careful you have to be. The volatility should be a lot less than it was in the last 2 weeks, right? It's a lot of uncertainty in the last 2 weeks. I don't know, but this is our new meme stock, I think, Peter. I think this is the one that just takes off for whatever reason.
Well, it definitely has been memeing over the last little while because it's been making sort of outsized moves. Yeah, this feels a little bit like a dead cat bounce type move here, but like you said, you just never know, right? I mean, maybe it'll get a ton of volume and it'll be up at $40 by the time we close. Probably not, but this thing definitely has been getting a lot of volume over the last couple of weeks, and I expect that to taper off a little bit as we go forward. But it should continue to provide some interest. So it's not my favorite stock to trade because of that uncertainty, right? The meme type stocks, they're not as predictable as when you get a lot of sort of institutional buying, and it sort of calms things down a little bit in there. So it's a trap. There, it could very well be. I don't know, but it's sort of fun to watch because you just don't know what it's going to do. But I find it challenging to trade.
Yeah, it is. I'm gonna have it on here. Again, might not be the best stock to look at today for me personally with my trading style, but man, it's fun to watch. It really is. All right, we'll stop here in the gap up. Peter, let's talk about what you like this morning or any earnings that maybe did not make our gap up list that are on the upside of things.
Okay, so on the upside this morning, what have we got that's green? How about MSI, Motorola Solutions? We don't often watch Motorola, but they had earnings after the close yesterday, beat their quarterly numbers and raised their guidance. So that's one that not getting a lot of volume here pre-market, but it doesn't usually. So no surprise there. Did we talk about a firm? I think we did. No, we
Not
no,
today.
we didn't.
No.
Okay, well, Upstart. We talked about Upstart. That's right. We didn't talk about a firm. Okay, AFRM. So a firm also had earnings, beat their numbers on the quarter, so a very good quarter. Their guidance was a little lackluster, though. They did guide slightly, just barely above analyst expectations. So usually, again, if you're not killing it, if you're not giving a whole new higher forecast, then you're deemed to have missed. So they are holding on to green, but not by much. They're up less than 1% right now, and just sitting there with only about just under 600,000 shares. So a firm, often can be in play. I'm not sure what to expect today. Like, it feels sluggish this morning, but everything does. So maybe it'll be worth watching. We'll have to, wait and see as we get closer to the open, see what it does if it starts to pick up and get more interesting. One that we often watch is Rivian, RIVN. Rivian didn't have a good quarter, but oddly is gapping up this morning. Again, not by much. They're only up by like 6 cents, which, when you're a $10 stock, means 0.6%, and it's they're just sitting right there. But anyways, they actually missed their quarterly numbers. They were expected to deliver over $1 billion in revenue. They only hit 874 million. They lost more money than expected. They are still in a loss position, by the way. They lost $1.08 per share rather than 95 cents. They did deliver over 10,000 cars, barely. They delivered 10,018 cars in the quarter. So it's not all bad news, but it wasn't a great quarter for them. But I am surprised to see them gapping up. I thought they would be gapping down based on that, but there they are. And last but not least, for the gap up on earnings that I was watching this morning, was DXC. DXC is not a great trading stock, but it's my alma mater. Well, that didn't sound right coming out of my lips. It's where I used to work. We'll say it that way. So, but I didn't work there when it was DXC. It was CSC at the time. But anyways, how the mighty have fallen. They looks like they haven't grown their revenue in about 7 years. So, see, that's
since you left, probably, right? They started going down,
exactly.
Started dropping since you left.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes sense, man. They messed up. Yep.
There you go. Anyways, but they beat their numbers in the quarter, citing strong cloud demand. Although I don't know, like, what's cloud demand these days? I'm a little skeptical. I mean, I remember when I worked there, go way back, like, cloud was the thing, right? We're setting up cloud infrastructures for our institutional clients. It was a big thing. But now, like, isn't cloud just like, isn't everybody cloud? Isn't everything cloud? That just means servers, period, isn't it? Anyways, maybe I'm oversimplifying and being jaded, but I am an old man, so you got to give me that. And yes, you can all take a drink. I mentioned corporate life, so there you go. Anyways, that's what I had gapping up. Gapping up for earnings. We'll talk about more on the gap down list.
Yeah. There's cloud it's a big thing, man. It's high in demand for sure. All right, friends. Let's take a look what's gapping down this morning. Pins is leading the way here, down 12%, almost 1 million shares traded. And this stock, we have a love and hate, more of a hate relationship with Pins, but it is in play today, down 11.4. So big drop. This got going last night. You can see hours, huge drop, 34 down to 28. And it's just kind of hanging out here. So, Peter, obviously something not going well on earnings for morning.
Well, actually, their earnings in the quarter were not bad. They were fine. They beat their numbers on it, but it was their guidance. Their forward-looking guidance was not what the analysts were expecting, and because of that lowered guidance, Pinterest is down. Now, we all have a special place in our heart for Pinterest, and one other one we'll talk about a little bit later, just because Andrew used to trade these a little more actively, and they were just fun to watch them both say it and trade it. So I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's down.
Yeah, I like them this morning, man. I'm gonna put them here on my list. I might not put them on the main list just yet, but I might move this up. Again, I gotta leave space for our good buddy Tesla and NVDA to our doing today. But Pins looks good. Depending how this list goes, I might move that one up this morning. Also, Upstart starting to move here as well. Look at the last couple of minutes, also doing some stuff. Looks like it wants to continue to head lower. Man, we got some good stuff today. All right, let's take a look at the next one here. RDFN. Now this is not good. Looks very, very choppy. Down 10% this morning, 372,000 shares traded. Redfin also dropping on what seems to be earnings after hours last night, Peter.
Yeah, this is a real estate company. I hear the truck. Where is it?
Truck.
I hear it. I didn't see it. It went by on a side street. Oh, there it is. Now it's coming. Oof. Yeah. Circling the block. But yeah, Redfin comes up like it seems like it comes up every earnings, and that's it, right? We see it in the morning on the gappers list, and every time we're like, yeah, probably not going to trade it. They didn't have a bad quarter. It looks like. I mean, they were okay, but their sales were lower than expectations in Q3. But again, I just don't like the sector, and I certainly don't like Redfin the way it trades. So yeah, I'll just be moving on.
Yep. Let's move on from that
The
garbage
truck's
truck.
back.
Look at that right there.
Okay.
Yeah. Triple garbage trucks for that one. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Fun on this list. Again, just been up and down and more towards the downside of things here. Gapping down 9.7, 652,000 shares traded. I'm not a fan of the way this thing trades. Yesterday's a great example of it. It's just the volume is, for me, it's a problem, right? So doing only 200 to 150, in some cases only 58,000 shares on a 5-minute. You have to see a stock that's trading that light volume if you're trying to be opening range breakout trade or any type of breakout trades. I mean, it's just difficult. So I won't be having them on my list. I think the volume has really died down on this thing. Peter, anything to add to this one?
No, nothing new on it.
I love that. Kevin Harris over on YouTube is saying that, you know what, Peter, that's true. You should let me drive the truck once in a while. What's up with that? Like, I'm always in the passenger seat. I'm probably the one that has to go get out and get the garbage and throw it in the truck. You know what? I actually don't mind that.
Let's see.
I actually don't
I
mind
don't,
that.
but
Look at that.
yeah, how do you know?
Unless we're in Europe.
Wait a second. How do you? Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you know Carlos isn't driving? Maybe we're in Malaysia somewhere, or you know,
Or Japan.
Japan.
Or Japan.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. I didn't know I was
Agreed.
driving. I can't see the wheel back there. I'm not sure. You're always driving. I mean,
I
I
can't tell.
assumed you were driving because you know you're in charge of the show. I just
We never thought about it.
Yeah.
We never thought about it. But yeah, there it is. It's, the stairway's in the middle. We both got a hand on it. And that's what's going crazy. We'll do that.
Peter
Let's
needs
take a look
to
at the next
yell
one
at
here.
people to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like a right-hand
Um,
drive vehicle to me, anyways, right? Because that's not a North American truck. So,
Is
anyways,
a U.S. truck, not a North American. No.
yeah. See,
One more
like
time,
that's-
friends. Let's
yeah,
take a look at it here.
There we
Don't
go.
even know what brand that is. All right.
I know. You know what,
Um,
Carlos? Maybe it's autonomous, and we're both just along for the ride.
Hey, that's good. I
No,
like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Friends, back to it here. Let's continue looking at our gappers list. We looked at Redfin. We looked at Fun. Yeah, let's stop here. There's a bunch on this list. We're gonna hop around a little bit. I see Chinese tickers. There's a lot of them on here. We got Futu, we got Lee, all of them actually. Well, not all of them, but
Yeah.
the majority of the ones that we do like to watch are on here. Let's take a look at Baba right now. They are down 4.1. It's just been bouncing back and forth. They were down on Thursday. No, this was, Wednesday, up on Thursday, back down today. So a little bit of movement, good volume. I like Baba, so I'm going to put it here on my secondary list. I want to take a close look at it and see if there's any action that we can get out of this one. You got some other ones like PDD, Billy, as I mentioned before, Lee, Becky, Futu. I mean, they're all on here. Peter, anything on the Chinese front this morning?
Well, you know, the Chinese are trying, the Chinese government trying to prop up their economy. They've previously announced some stimulus packages for different market sectors. Today, Friday, they announced another 10 trillion won package over 5 years. That's about $1.4 trillion US to tackle debt with local governments. But nobody seems happy. Everybody thinks that it's not directed properly, it's not enough, and it's not going to support what is a very sluggish economy over in China. So it's interesting that the government announces that they're spending an extra 10 trillion won, and the market says, "You suck," and takes pretty much all of their stocks down. So you can't win, right? They might as well save their money. But I'm sure it'll do some benefit to those that are receiving it. But anyways, we're seeing the market down. You can see just a gap down overnight and then pretty much flat line ever since. So Carlos, yeah, if you you like to watch a Chinese stock, then pick your favorite. They're all sort of in the same boat, but none of them look like they're going to be particularly in play today. Keep in mind the Chinese market is, I believe, already closed. So really it's just going to be some catch-up movement, and then it's probably not going to do much. It is also a Friday North American market. So
yeah. All right, we'll stop here. Peter, we'll go to you as far as gapping down. Is anything that you like on your end, or anything that might be having earnings on the downside of things?
Yeah, a couple of earnings that I was also keeping an eye on. Airbnb, ABNB, mixed picture there, where they beat on revenue, missed on their bottom line profitability, but they did cite, interesting, they cited strong demand in the sector. They expect good holiday demand. They still see that there's increase in bookings. They did not change their guidance, though. So I think probably because of that, if you say bookings are strong, but you're not willing to up your guidance, the market's not so happy with that. So they are now sitting at, I think it's around 800,000 shares traded this morning, 700,000 shares traded. So, but are gapping down about 6.5% so far this morning. Monster Beverage Company, MNST. That was had earnings this morning. They missed their numbers, so not enough energy drinks. You guys need more caffeine out there, apparently. So they're gapping down this morning after a miss on the quarter. We did talk about Pinterest. They're also gapping down, but we already talked about that. Now, the other one that goes with Pinterest, I always think of them together, is Yelp. Yelp also had earnings. They actually had a good quarter, beat their numbers in the quarter, but they... I don't know. The analysts don't seem to like what's going on. They spent $80 million buying a company called Repair Pal that apparently does repairs. I didn't quite get into the details of how that works, because, but anyways, Repair Pal. Anybody used it? Heard of it? I've never heard of it. Anyways, so Yelp is gapping down. Now, Yelp is memorable for those of us that have been in this chat room for a very long time and trading with Andrew, because way back in the day, Yelp was like, Andrew was trading this and he was convinced the damn thing was going short. And it was actually one of the days, like the very first day I was introduced to the room, if anybody remembers. So I had to do an interview with him as he introduced me to all of you way back when. And it was after this loss, and he just kept adding in. He went short and the thing moved up.
It was a
added.
stressful day, man.
Oh my God. It was horrible for all of us. The Yelp-pocalypse. Yeah. And it was just, and different people were texting him and say, dude, like, get out. And he's getting frustrated. Like, it was just, look, we've all been through it, but it's always amazing to watch someone else, because it's easy to see it when you're watching someone else. It's never when you're the one experiencing it, right? You don't recognize the signs. So it's very similar to, like we were trying to have an intervention live. And it was crazy. Yeah. And I think he lost something like $8,000, or was it $18,000? I can't remember, but whatever the number was,
it was around 10 or something. But for him at that time, Peter, remember, that was a big amount.
Right.
That was a big amount.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Right? Like, it's all relative to what you're trading. So at the time, that was his biggest ever loss. Like, now he'll lose that much in a single trade and shrug it off, because he's built up the size that he's trading, and he's just trading, a much bigger account. But, it doesn't really matter the size of the account. It matters how significant the trade value or loss or win is to you. And Yelp is just memorable, I think, for all of us that were there, because it was so significant based on the size he was trading and sort of the behavior it demonstrated to us. So he was an object lesson on that day. It was painful for all of us. So yeah, Yelp, unfortunately, hasn't been something that we've traded in many a moon. But yeah, they did have earnings, and I said actually had a good quarter, but are gapping down. So anyways, it's a long-winded story. If you're ever really interested, I don't know where you could find. I'm sure it's still out there in our.
I'm searching now, and I you know what is, we might have not put.
I don't think we called it. We didn't call it Yelp. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't find it.
Yeah. It's out there somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll
Yeah.
go back
All
into the
right.
Wayback Machine and find that. But anyways, all right. So that's what I was tracking for earnings. Looking across, remember yesterday we had pretty much all of the Magnificent Seven, all of the sort of the big ticker stocks we have to watch gapping up. Today is the opposite. They're pretty much all gapping down. Apple, Amazon, Meta, Google, all in the red this morning. Tesla seems to be the only one that's green, and it's barely green. So very much a reversal from what we saw yesterday. So it's it's not terrible for a trader. It just acknowledged that the market is feeling a little sad this morning. So we'll see if it turns that frown upside down and moves higher, or continues in this direction, one way or the other. We are sitting. The SPY is like pretty much dead flat to where it closed, by the way, and the Q's almost the same. They're just on opposite sides of the clothesline. Hey, look, we're still at all-time highs area, so there's not much to be upset about, right? It is what it is. As long as it gets some volatility, gives us some trading opportunity, I'm all for it. Let her rip, baby.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely. All right, friends, let's get over to our chat here, members chat, and see what you guys like this morning. Looking at some tickers, Airbnb, we did talk about already. I'm not going to add that one to my list. I'm just not a big fan of the way that stock trades. I think it can be very choppy, but if there's any day in play, it'll be today. It's got great volume, 719,000 shares traded. So I think it's worth taking a look at for sure. Just be patient with it, right? Because the volume is not as aggressive as you will see in some other tickers that we're usually looking at. Javier, you're giving us YINN. So let's take a look at that one. It is down 13%. I'm sorry, 4.7 million shares traded. Now, what is this? Oh, okay. This is the American Stock Exchange. It is an ETF. So this is China Bull times 3. Okay, so yeah, if you want to change the Chinese sector, you could do this one. I normally just try to find a Chinese stock that's trading well, like Baba, but you could definitely watch this as well. All right, let's take a look at what else we have heading down. Let's see what's going on. DJT has. Oh, did we lose shares for short? No, I still have a couple of shares. Again, they might not be there for long. It's only 400,000 shares for available for short on DJT, so that might change as the morning progresses here. But yeah, it's in play. I have it on my list for sure. Great volume, up 1.6. But again, be very, very cautious with that one. Taking a look at what else we guys have. CMCI we do have on the list, so that's good. I do see a couple of people mentioned this earlier. SEZL. I see it being mentioned also in our YouTube chat. Oh, no. What is this? No, this is not in play. We can roll the truck on this. Yeah, it's hot garbage. I don't know what this is.
I've never.
But for
credit services company, I've never heard of them. Yeah, what does Sezzle do? Let's see. Pay in for. Pay it in 4 with no interest. That seems to be their big kitsch. I'm just on their website now. It just says pay in 4. I don't know what that means. 4 payments? 4 years? 4 lifetimes? I have no idea. Anyways, all right. Don't know. Don't care.
Yeah, floats with like 2.9 million at this price are scary. I mean, the spread could be horrendous. Be careful. I don't like this at all. So be very, very careful if you decide to day trade this thing, right? So just be aware of that. All right, let's take a look at Sony.
Oh, man.
Joel. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Raf was saying the way Affirm does it, it pay in 4 months. It's not. I'm looking at Zezzle's site. Their pay in 4 plan is actually 4 payments split over 6 weeks. That's not really a lot of time. That's like
4 payments over 6 weeks. Why not 6 weeks and just?
I don't know. I mean, it's keeping you on your toes. But anyways, all right. In any event. I've always wondered about they seem to be very popular, but people that get these payment plan systems, right? Affirm obviously has made a big business out of it. And there's lots of imitators. Sounds like Zezzle is one of them. But Carlos, I have to say, I had a buddy that used to like finance furniture. Like he'd go buy furniture and he'd go through one of these furniture resellers like Rentalex or something like that, and I used to I would go over and I would sit him down and do the math with him, and I said, never rent furniture. Like by the time you're done,
Oh, he
that
used to. You
$800
said
sofa.
finance. Okay, I'm
Well,
sorry. You said he used to finance furniture. You said he used to rent furniture, like rent it for a
well,
couple of months.
the problem is they call it the same thing, right? It's always a rent to own plan. So he thinks he's buying it, and he said,
Oh,
"Well, I'm just paying it off over X amount of time, right? Because once I make all the payments, then I own it." But if you fail in the payments, they repossess it, like most sort of leasing rental plans, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, but by the time you're done, like he thinks it's costing him $800, but I would just you do the simple math, and you're like, it's costing you $2,000 for that sofa. He's like, I never paid $2,000 for that. I'm like, well, that's what you're paying because once you add all the interest in. So, anyways, I just I can't imagine going to Walmart and buying something and end up financing that it's going to cost you a lot more. Like it's anyways, it's a slippery slope. So be careful. Any of you out there, if you're using any of those payment plans, just make sure you understand the math. I get it. Sometimes you get stuck and you need to do things, but make sure you actually understand what you're paying. And if you don't understand it, don't do it. There you go.
yeah.
There's my rant for today.
We can go down such a rabbit hole with this one, man, because it's like
I haven't ranted enough.
Why kids don't know this when they come out of high school? Forget college. Out of high school, they should know how this stuff works. So let's not even get into it. Our education system.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna get me going.
Let's not get into it.
You're gonna get me going.
No. Let's.
I've been on this.
Let's bring it back.
I've been on this. Too late, man. Too late. I've been on this track for a while. I honestly, why do we not teach basic finance in schools? Like life skills. Like we should be teaching life skills that people need. We send them out in the world completely unprepared. We wonder why credit card debt is surging and people just don't understand how to finance their life properly. And it's frankly, it's not the kids' fault. We don't do it. And at least I can tell you from a North American perspective, we're culturally trained not to talk about money. So most of the time, like it's not like parents normally sit down and share their finance with their kids. You just don't do that. Anyways, I took my kids through a self-made financing course that I took them through. Yeah. I showed them what our family finances were. I showed them what it means. It stuck with 2 of my 3 kids. The other one obviously didn't pay attention, clearly, because they're having trouble. But anyways,
like me and you are going to do what we have to do for our kids. But like my parents knew nothing about finance. We were broke, like really broke, right? So the school should have done that for me. And there's people in that cycle that their parents can do this, that the school should help in. It's just so messy, man. But that was the rant for the week there. We can go on for a whole hour on this thing, man. It gets me going, really does. More than the USB cable, the old USB cable on iPhone. All right. Okay. Man, I'm starting to sweat here. All right. Moving on, friends. Right now, nobody has mentioned Tesla. I don't know why, but I'm going to look at Tesla. I'm going to add it on here. So I've been checking your comments. Oh, you did? Oh, sorry, I missed it. Maybe responding to a comment, but I'll add Tesla on here. I'm going to add NVIDIA as well because I like the way that's been trading. Also, got tons of volume this morning. I think those 2 are going to be great to watch. And I only have 4. And you know what? I'm going to move pins up. I think pins can be interesting today. And for some reason, UPST is going to come up my list as well. So I'm going to move those 2 up, and that's going to make my list for today. Friends, let's head over to our community events and announcements. If you haven't done so already, hit that thumbs up over on YouTube. We really appreciate it. We only ask because it helps us a ton. I know it can bother some people when we ask that, but it does help us out a lot on our YouTube channel, and we truly appreciate it. So, Peter, what is happening for next week?
All right, let's quickly go through this because I want to make sure we have lots of time to get ready for the open. Next week, we've got, starting on Monday, we'll just start there. Monday, we always do our onboarding. It helps get people oriented and introduced into the Bearable Trading community and the chat room. We have 2 different sessions for you can take advantage of, starting at noon, with Brendan, who talks technical. First, he talks about DAS Trader Pro actually, do you know what Andrew was saying yesterday? DOS stands for Direct Access Software. I didn't Didn't even know that. Never thought about it, but there you go. Anyways, but it's the platform that a lot of us use. You don't have to, but it's a very functional and effective platform that we use to access the markets. And Brendan will take you through how to configure it and to get the most out of it. So that's noon on Mondays. And then Carlos does his ever popular and famous onboarding class that helps new members understand how they can sort of get started in trading, get all ramped up and ready to go on their trading journey. Now, even if you've been trading for a while, it might be worth attending just to get some tips or tricks, or to give back to those that are just joining and help answer questions and make sure that they know that there is hope, right? Because it can be daunting as you're getting started trading. So that's at 8:00 on Mondays. Tuesday of next week, we do our next strategy session, and like I've been telling you for a little while now, we've got some good upcoming sessions, and this Tuesday session is going to be shown to me by Brent any moment now. There it is. Oh, he skipped over it. What happened to it? It's gone. There it is. Oh my God. Okay, Thor. Oh, we've changed the name of it. Thor was before, it was called The How, right? We were going to do The How. Now he's going to do VPA on demand. So probably by popular demand, he's going to look at the volume price analysis. So slightly different lesson, but it's still Thor. On Tuesday, November the 12th, he's going to be doing that webinar, which is always a good in-depth view of how he uses the VPA signals in his trading and how you can take advantage of that yourself. And the next week, Avi is going to be here. I love it. A little secret about trading naked. So if you don't know what he means by that and you want to find out, join. You know what? It could be a lot of fun. Now, Avi is coming to us from a different part of the world, so his session is early. It's at 11 a.m. as opposed to the usual 8 p.m. time. So that's during market hours. So keep that in mind, but put it on your calendar for 11 a.m. on November the 19th. On Wednesday, we're doing our psychology series, continuing with that, and we're going to have Wesley Altman, who's leading next Wednesday's class, usual time at 8 p.m., on the path to trading mastery. That's always a good one on how you manage your emotional control and cultivate patience. So it's a good session. And then the week after, on November the 20th, Randy Howell, who's done many, many sessions with us, is going to be back talking about how winning can be dangerous to your success. And don't I know it? I tell the story all the time of the second day after I went live, I had a massive, massive win on a stock. And it just, anyways, it was like I outsized my size. I just got lucky and it won. And I thought, this is easy. I'm going to be a billionaire before I know it. And of course, I went to lose many times over that amount because I didn't manage my risk appropriately. So he's going to talk about how you can manage that psychologically and hopefully avoid the problem that I just outlined that I suffered. So attend Randy Howell's session on the 20th of November. On Wednesdays, we also do our Bookmap webinar. Nathan gives that, talks about how you can leverage Bookmap. That's at noon in the webinar room. So put that on your calendar for next Wednesday. Thursday, we do our mentorship series. Our mentorship series has 4 parts to it, starting with John at 11 a.m. We go to Jared and Megan talking options at 2. We've got Lenny doing his session at 4. And of course, Thor does his evening session at 8 p.m. So you probably know those by now. And if you haven't been a member in the room to be able to take advantage of those, well, now's your chance to join and do that. How do you do that? Well, you go to bearabletraders.com and you scroll down to the bottom of that page, and then you'll see all of these pricing options that you can use to join. So pick the one that you like best, join, and we'll see you in the chat room sometime soon. Don't forget, we also have live events happening, right? We do the chat room every day, of course, and then sometimes we like to go do live things. We're going to we're going to Colombia with a few of our members on a live sort of retreat. That should be a lot of fun. A lot of us are going from the team, and then we've got a number of members that are joining us out there for a little bit of a luxury retreat. Should be a lot of fun, and that's happening the first week and a half of December. And then in March of 2025, we have our big conference, the big meetup, where you've got a chance to join us in Vancouver and trade live with us for a day, get a lot of educational material. We're actually combining with a formal TEDx talk series, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I know that Andrew and Mike are putting a lot of work into that. We've got a lot of great speakers lined up. We're going to be talking about performance and in performance in all aspects of life, because trading is not just about you facing the markets, about managing the performance across the different aspects of your life. So we'll be talking about that in the TEDx, and then of course focus in on the trading later. All right, so that's what we've got going on in the community. Hopefully, you will be able to take advantage of all of that. Carlos, let's set some levels. I'll let you know then what our moderators are watching. We'll get ready for live trading.
Yeah, absolutely, friends. SMCI, guys, has been very good. It's going to be on our list. High of the pre-market, 27.96 will slam on there. Towards the bottom, you got plenty of levels. Do not need to add anymore. I'm going to move up to 30.89 right here as well. Add that on there. And then just in case, I mean, we really get going here. I doubt this can happen, but who knows? 32.53 for SMCI. So good volume, good volatility on this one. And it has been trading well at the market open. So I want to keep an eye on it. DJT moving this morning. We're up 1.1, was in the red. It has crossed over to the green here, just barely holding above the previous day close. The volume is great, 5.8. Again, just to remind you, always be very, very careful with this stock. It is a tricky one and can trade very aggressive. Low of the pre-market, 25.60, and then towards the bottom of that, in case we do slam down, 22.19 seems to be an area as well. Towards the top, you do have the highs and lows of the last two trading days, so don't need to add anything else. We move right to Tesla as it continues to just plow against this 300. Did it hit 300 already? I don't think it has. It's trying to. It has come short of like 299.95.
I know it can't get over there. So that, yeah, we'll see if today's the day.
Yeah, let's see if Friday gets it done. The most impressive thing here is on the daily, though. Look, it has been holding their gap up. It has not sold off, so that's very good. Looking forward to this one. 3.3 million shares traded, slightly up this morning. Trying to go against those highs there. So some levels high of the pre-market, of course, 299.95, and then you have the low of the pre-market, 294.18. And then we can go to the left. We can look at other levels, but for the most part, we'll keep it the way it is now. Looks good. NVIDIA, same thing here, just kind of hanging out slightly below their recent highs here, recent all-time highs that also created yesterday. Actually, no, take that back. This morning, a new all-time high. We did actually hit 150. So that is your all-time highs on NVIDIA. Low of the pre-market, 46.80. And once you do that, guys, do not need to add anything else. Highs and lows, previous day close, are doing an amazing job for you on NVIDIA. Straight to pins. Pins down. I have it on my list. It could be tricky. We got to be very patient. It's a nicey stock, so the volume is not as fluid sometimes. That's our usual stocks that we like to watch. But I like this gap down today with the volume. High of the pre-market, 30.40. The low of the pre-market, 29.25. And if we look to the left here, we got some really nice levels, 28.56 towards the bottom, all the way down here, 27.06. And then towards the top, a very big level of 31.43, support and resistance happening there on pins. UPS, a big pop for them, up 17% still after falling from their pre-market highs at 69.36. We'll slam one there, and over at 63.24, we'll slam one there as well. And once you do that, you are pretty much set when it comes to UPST. Towards the bottom, we do have the highs and lows of the last two trading days. Have we been up here? We've been higher, I believe. Yeah, we definitely have. It's been a while, though. We haven't been up here in some time. We're going to look at the weekly. We have a level of 72.45. And just in case we do decide to get going on this beautiful Friday, we are going to mark down 85.20 off the weekly charts on UPST. All right, that does have Baba on the secondary. Chinese stocks are down this morning, so pick your favorite. I'll be looking at this one to see if anything can come out of that. All right, let's get over to our community, to our members and what they're watching this morning, Peter. Peter, you're on mute.
Oh, I'm on mute. Members or moderators? I'm going moderators. All right.
Go moderators.
So there you go. Let's go down our moderator list. We'll see what they're watching. Mike is going to be watching Tesla and DJT. Thor is going to be watching NVIDIA, SMCI, Tesla, and, of course, the market indices. Eamon's just going to be watching the scanners, waiting to see if anything alerts him. If not, he may have a no-trade day. Pierre's going to be watching AMD, SMCI, and NVIDIA, so semi-heavy. Tesla and Apple are also on his list. Avi, as usual, keeping it very tight with NVIDIA and Tesla. Phil will be watching NVIDIA, Tesla, Coin, and SMCI. Got a couple of SPACs to let you know about if and when they open. They usually don't give us trading opportunity, but I'll keep you on top of the news should it be something of interest. Brendan is going to be watching SMCI, NVIDIA, Tesla, and PLTR. Brian in with his list, watching NVIDIA, Tesla, Pins, and Airbnb. And very happy to have Brian back. His first day back yesterday. He's now firmly back in the saddle and ready to go. Lenny with his usual big list, watching Tesla, NVIDIA, Upstart, Affirm, ENPH and BAC. And I guess I'm one to talk because look at my list. I'm watching AMD, Tesla, and NVIDIA. Really want to see if Tesla breaks 300 here today. And my secondary list, I'll also be watching SMCI, Affirm, Rivian, and Upstart. So lots of things to keep an eye on today. Whatever you do, we want you to trade smart. We want you to go into that weekend head held high, knowing that you traded to your rules. And, win or lose, at least you traded maturely. So trade smart, and you can have yourself a good weekend. And you can be as happy as my balloon back here. So there you go.
Awesome.
That's my wish for all of you.
Amazing, man. Friends, we're going to switch over to Brian and Andrew trading live for you guys this morning. Hit that thumbs up over on YouTube, sitting at 227 is what I show right now. I'm good, but really appreciate it, guys. Have a great weekend. And there's Brian. Brian is ready to rock and roll. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, everybody. And good morning out there on YouTube land. And
Morning.
yeah, I am in the saddle. Yes. Good morning, Peter.
In the saddle.
Right
Although
in the saddle,
something's
baby.
missing. I'm always reminding you what's missing. There he goes.
I plugged it in.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Oh, there you go.
Oh,
Oh no!
Oh,
It's on the
right.
fritz. Yeah. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I can.
Uh-oh.
I see
Brian's
the
going to be
problem.
lighting up soon.
Fire,
Oh.
man.
Yeah.
I see.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. One of the connections come loose. I have to get a screwdriver. And not a time for
Okay.
that.
No.
So,
All right.
so
Well.
it's on now. It's on now.
Okay. Oh, good. I feel
Right.
better. I can trade this morning. All right, guys. Trade
Okay.
smart. I'll leave you. Look, Andrew's here. Brian's here. These guys are ready to go. So have a great morning, everyone.
Here we go. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning,
morning,
everybody. Good morning,
So-
sir. NVDA is interesting. Tesla is interesting as well. So super interesting. What happened to Airbnb? Is that the
Earnings.
earning?
After the close. It was actually, I think it popped up after reporting, and I guess I don't know the guidance. The guidance must have been crappy because it after hours it was up over, what did it get to, like 165?
Sorry to
I
interrupt.
think, yeah,
Could both of you share your
Oh.
screen in the chat?
we can.
Sir,
Thank you.
how do they make?
I think,
really understood. Airbnb.
I believe a few of our members traded it. Maybe Gary L. traded it, and he made some good money on it. Whoever it was. But
So
yeah,
it was very
I-
interesting yesterday, Fed's meeting, Brian. I don't know if you saw that or not.
Yeah, I saw that.
The tension is already up between the President Trump and Fed. They said if they ask him to leave, do you leave? He said no. He said, you're not legally to leave? He said, no. I'm not here. I'm here.
No, I think he wants to stay out his term, and Trump can't fire him legally. He can pressure him to leave, but he doesn't have, I guess, unless he changes something. which
Is
always
who has the
possible.
legal? Is that the Congress, Senate has the legal authority to?
I honestly don't know. I just know that he can't. He doesn't have the authority to do it. So
All right. So NVDA
here we go. Here we go. Watching,
600.
watching here. I don't know. SMCI already shorted it once today in the pre-market. I'm just kind of watching it right now. It kind of looks like it has some levels to fill down here at 25.20.
Yeah, I'm waiting a little bit.
Qs and SPY. Qs
Yeah.
and SPY are bouncing.
Tesla is interesting, but it's extended from the VWAP right now. Let's see if you can get actually a tree. Guys, you should be able to see my screen in the chat room and Brian's screen. So you can see the entries and all right, so NVIDIA is popping nicely. Very big ask at 149. Let's see if NVIDIA can
Tesla got to yesterday's high,
Let me
rejected.
get a long NVDA. Let's see if we can get this big ask at NVDA at 149. This is super interesting. There's a very big ask at 149 on NVDA. Let's see if we can pump through that. It's a little bit extended on the VWAP. It's a little bit worrisome. It's dropping more. I'm adding a little bit more on this pullback on it. Stop loss would be below 148.70. Tesla is coming down now. Tesla is rejecting nicely.
Yeah, Tesla rejected right at the yesterday's high.
Yeah. I'm taking a short on Tesla, 297.82, just below the VWAP. I want to see if you can go test the red here again. Oh, perfect. Nice. So I'm partialing, guys, on NVDA. If Tesla short actually works.
Yeah. I'm short SMCI.
I might actually get out of short Tesla. Tesla, this is not a good short. This looks like a very bad short.
I'm looking
I'm
for
covering my short,
25
guys.
on, maybe get 25.02.
Yeah, I'm covering my short, guys. I'm flipping my position on Tesla long, actually. Yeah, I covered my short on Tesla. Still long NVDA, guys. Let's see if NVDA can go up more.
Just covered
NVDA,
some of my SMCI. Just covered some of my SMCI. 25.10. Come up again. It's going to be crazy. NVIDIA is looking really like it's ready to go.
Tesla
again.
long, guys. Tesla, guys. I covered my shorts on long Tesla, guys. Let's see, break of 300 would be nice. Oh yeah, Tesla is break of 300.
Okay, I'm back in my break even on SMCI. On the rest, let's see what it does here. Just kidding. I'm getting with the rest of it.
I want to see that big ask on Tesla. And it's also super nice ask. Oh, dude, look at that.
Yeah.
So we can get a full break on it. Still long on Tesla, guys, and NVDA. I had a bad loss on it on short. I don't know why I shorted that.
There's
All right,
300.
so Tesla is going down. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, look at
Tesla.
that! Yes, fuck me.
Tesla just
That was
needs, yeah.
wow. Fuck me.
Yeah, that
Look
was
at
as
that,
soon as
guys.
as soon as it busted that 300 level.
Yeah, we're talking about very, very nice moves on Tesla right now.
Yeah. And where's the next level? That's the question.
Wow, Tesla, it's just quick, beautiful. Like 305 is possible today. Yeah, I'm gonna go to weekly.
Remember you were saying 300 yesterday wasn't likely.
Yeah,
I'm not sure it was going to get there.
You're right.
I
Yeah,
actually-
303 portioning out.
Actually, I wasn't entirely correct because we actually didn't hit 300 yesterday.
It was close enough.
It was
I've added
really
more.
close, yeah.
I added more guys on NVDA as well at 149.20. This is stupid, guys. This is so stupid. We shouldn't be able to make these. I shouldn't be able to make money like it. I do not deserve this.
I'm long some options on Tesla right now.
Unbelievable,
Your
guys.
calls.
Unbelievable. This Elon Musk, what a rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. All right, so guys, I'm also long NVDA. The average on NVDA is 149, so I'm partialing 149.47. Tesla, my average is 299.36, so I'm already up 5 points on it. Partialing out. Holy moly. This is
Okay.
unbelievable, guys.
Yeah. Nice. I'm doing the 300 calls on Tesla. Got out some of them at $6.
Oh, NVIDIA 150 as well.
NVIDIA is
Partially,
going.
guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, crazy, guys. Crazy. Unbelievable. Wow, nice. I'm glad people make money. Nice. Wow, guys, this is unbelievable. And
To the moon, baby.
to the moon, man, to the moon. Did guys had good trading over there? What's happening with you? At zero, very nice. How's Lyft doing? Lyft 1780. Yeah, they rejected yesterday, huh?
Lifts up just fractionally. Q's.
I'm gonna add a little bit more on
down.
Tesla. Even though I shouldn't. I'm adding a little bit more on Tesla for 305. My average is pretty good on Tesla, so 300. Let's see if we can get to 305. Super strong. Tesla might actually do a little bit more consolidation and then add that, but that's okay for now. I'm gonna add that. Gee, wow. It was so good. I was trading in YouTube,
NVIDIA.
guys. Did you have any trades?
NVIDIA wants
305.
150, I think. Wants
Yeah,
to
I
get
think
there.
NVIDIA. Tesla is doing now a small consolidation. So this consolidation are totally expected. Wow, it's amazing, guys. I'm super
Yeah.
happy.
Love the way it just blew through that 300 level. That was just waiting to be taken out.
300, yeah. Yeah, let's see if Tesla can do 305. I think it's going to do the 305. I'm going to adding a little bit more. Let me see. My average is, I want to bring my average to something reasonable so I don't get stopped out. I'm adding a little bit more on Tesla for the break of 305. 305 is a round number. Here we go. Here we go. I have 3,000 shares of Tesla
Yeah.
now.
Here we go.
Come on. 305.
All right, just selling some more, $6.20 on my 300 calls.
Nice. So that's another way of doing it for those of you who guys don't have much of a buying power like me. You can actually trade calls. Like Avi's probably making really good money today. Avi's
Yeah.
super. All right, so here we go. We're gonna go for 305. There are big ask at 305 sitting on Tesla. There you go. Now popping
wow,
up.
here we go. Yeah.
Shutting out
Just
more.
selling. Yeah. Just sold some more at 650. Love options. If you haven't checked out my options book on Amazon, it's there. How to Trade Options by myself, Brian Peasant. So you talk about trading options, day trading options, as well as other strategies. So you can always check that out this weekend if you have nothing else to do.
Yeah, so we'll send you the link. We can actually send you the link for the options book if you want to learn. It's not only day trading options. You go through some of the overnight trading on options. Yes.
Oh yeah. Long-term.
it's pretty good.
Long-term trading strategies. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a
Love
pretty
the
good
beta.
one. So I'll
Yeah.
put the link here so you can actually go through that.
Thanks.
All right, so NVDA is rolling over. My average on NVDA is at 149. Let's see if I get stopped out or not. I had a pretty good run on both of them. These pullbacks are kind of expected. Hughes and SPY. SPY wants 600, huh? SPY wants 600.
SPY is green. The only thing index that's not green is IWM. And actually, bond yields are down again today. So, go figure.
So TLT's up. Yeah, yields are down.
But they've been up. They've been up a lot over the last couple of weeks.
Right. So Tesla is kind of having some sort of a toppy price action. We need some sort of a consolidation for a big move up. Tesla move is just unbelievable in the last 3 days. So I don't know.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is very nice.
Where was it trading? It was trading at 250 for the election. Results came out.
In April, it was trading at 140. Just in April this year.
Yeah, I know. What a buy.
What a buy, really. But you never know. That's the thing. You never know.
That's it. Yeah, you never know.
That is the thing.
Selling here.
Very high volatility investment. If you want to keep it as an investment, super high volatility. All right, so NVIDIA is dropping, guys. I'm going to get out completely of NVIDIA long. It's my break-even point. Now 5 minutes on NVIDIA is actually becoming like an engulfing. So it might bounce, but overall price action becomes a little bit weak. So I'm all out of NVIDIA. The only position that I have is 1,700 shares of Tesla yet. Still. But I had a good run on NVIDIA. I had a big loss on Tesla at the open that I made it back on short. It wasn't really a short. I don't know why I shorted that. Yeah, NVIDIA is dropping really bad. NVIDIA turned out to be super.
Yeah, look at that. That was quite a turn.
NVIDIA might be a short. Let me see if I can get a better entry shorting it.
It might be one of those days where it gets choppy.
Yeah. So Brent, you can show my positions for YouTube if you want. I had a pretty good day. I had a really bad loss on Tesla at the open, but quickly covered that and quickly, flip my position. Sometimes when especially at the open, if you're trading at the open and you think something is weird, you should really quickly turn around and cover your position. So I quickly covered my short, even though the loss was $16,000. But you can quickly make it with the next trade. So super important for you guys to don't marry a position. Don't just quickly. But I saw that Tesla is dropping to the VWAP. I thought that it's going to happen something like NVIDIA is happening right now. I thought there's going to something like that happen. So I quickly covered as soon as I realized that this.
Yeah, I'm short SMCI. I think it's going to 25 here. Now, finally. Okay. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Yes. There it is right there. 25.
Yeah, SMCI dropping very bad. And I'm going to add a little bit on Tesla, but Tesla seems like a two double top at 305. Tesla might also sell off like NVDA. I added a little bit. Let's see if we can get a little bit more on that. But now I'm looking actually for another opportunity. I'm not really super desperate to take. But NVIDIA, this turned out to be a super nice engulfing on 5 minutes. It looks like it wants to go lower. Yeah, the Qs went red.
Let's take a look at what Tesla looks like on the book map. Still got some orders to the upside, but I would say the book overall is fairly bearish.
Yeah, it's been a massive move up. So
yeah, looks like it might want to go back down, test the VWAP. All hard to short it. So 300 puts.
NVDA short. If NVDA comes up a little bit higher, I might short it below the VWAP. I'm just waiting for it. See if I can get a better entry.
It bounced off S3.
What's UPST doing? UPST is also super interesting. I'll start holding. This one is earning?
I believe so, yes. Yeah, the book
I'm
just
going to add a
went
little more
bullish.
Tesla. I'm going to
Yeah,
add a
went
little
bullish.
more on Tesla. At 304. My average now is at 302. Maybe I can add a little bit more to bring the average at 302.50 maybe. All right, so my average at 302.50. Let's see if we can get another break of high of the day. I'm kind of losing my hope on Tesla to do big moves, but I think he has another try of high of the day. Let's see if we can get that.
There's a big order at 310 and some orders,
310?
obviously. More to the upside as well.
Oh, there you go.
Go.
Big ask on 5. Let's see.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. High of the day.
See if we can push here. Order book still bullish.
Nice, guys. Anyone interested?
All right.
In or in chat? Anyone in there?
I still have two calls left. I'm in at around $4, so I've got lots of room here for holding these to go higher.
Here we go. High of the day. One more time. Yeah, order flow is super bullish. I'm starting partialing here a little bit through 528, euro 550. Oh, there you go, partialing. Oh, PUD.
There we go.
Yes.
Here we go.
This is
Love
super
to get
nice.
these. I'd love to go for a double on this. Here we go. Look at that. Yes.
Elon Musk. So NVDA weak, SMCI weak. Wow, this is super nice. Yeah, 310 probably, huh? Today is what day? Should we sell some calls?
On what?
On 315. We get 80 cents on 315. We're not going to get to 315 today, huh? Are we?
Famous last words. I don't know.
315, we get 80 cents.
It's impossible. Yeah, we could certainly. I'd wait a little bit longer to see. You probably get more for them if this gets to 310.
That's true. Let's see. When do we see some copy price action? Maybe we can.
Yeah. Right now, trend is still your friend, and it's up. Although we are getting to, let's just see, what is R4 on Tesla? R4 is 307.50.
Yeah.
I know this is going to keep going. I want to get to $8 on these calls.
Yeah, I know. Guys, remember that I told you that I had a friend that she called me and she said, "Give me money. I want to double down." I laughed at her, and now she's laughing at me. If she was holding, you don't know. That's another thing. Right, I think 315 it has it. 310. It's sell
I'd
50
rather see it get to
just for,
310
you think it's gonna get to
before
310?
it might do what it did yesterday at 300. It might sort of almost get there. It was funny how it went about 25 cents from 300. Couldn't get through that level yesterday. But yeah, just as soon as it blew through that level, it was like on to the next.
What about this? What about this
objective.
hitting R4 at R4, which is 307
Yeah.
sell?
I agree.
It's kind of priced
307.50.
307.50. When it's there, maybe we can sell some calls over there. We'll do small. If not, we become shareholder of Tesla forever. All right. So that's something. NVIDIA kind of died.
NVIDIA came down to S3 and then found some support. Let's see if it can hold here. I'd be watching this 148 level just to see if it can hold there. It's an NVIDIA book map. Some big orders still at 150.
Tesla is already up 3%. Here we go. Let's go for another pop on R4 at 307.42. Kind of toppy price action right now we'll see on Tesla. But getting to R4 is still a possibility. Yeah, no, I'm not an NVIDIA, guys. I got out of NVIDIA completely. So I had a really good day on NVIDIA. No more NVIDIA.
Yeah. That was a good opportunity to get in it though at S3. It did hold that level. So you could have got in around 148.10 or something and just used 148 as a stop. Now it's up against the moving averages, the 9 and the 20. So we're getting a pullback. SPY is still pushing higher here.
SPY wants 600, brother.
Yeah, apparently. IWM went green, so we've got all the indexes in the green. Qs are still...
would have sold 315 then, it would have been up 20 cents by now.
I know.
We may not get to R4 on Tesla.
Yeah, I know.
You know.
It is a little choppy. We are getting a pullback now to the 9 EMA.
SPY is hitting the new highs.
Yep.
It's very, 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 very nice. Yeah, it's sitting over $46,000. We can, with that, we can make it to. Here we go. Gonna go one more time on Tesla. Yeah, the volatility comes down. As volatility comes down on Tesla, also the premiums are dropping for today. It's all implied volatility. So,
yeah.
Here we go. Let's see one more time. Tesla our E10 calls are at 1.75. 320 is 20 cents.
Hmm.
Come on, Tesla. I'm partialing some more on Tesla here to 6, just to be part of history. Once I really wants the there's no news or anything. There's no fundamental news or anything happening, huh? No?
No,
Today?
no.
SMCI is really losing it. Are you still short SMCI, Brian?
No, I covered it at 25. It's down at S3 right now. Damn. NVIDIA, again, sort of holding this level.
All right, Tesla is going to 307, SPY, $3. Nice.
Okay, we're coming to my $8 target.
On what?
Come on. R4. We're getting close to R4 here. You know what? I'm going to take them off. 770. Oop, maybe go. Oh, here we go. Here's $8 on the bid.
All right, so I sold some Tesla at 315 at 81 cents. Yeah, I sold 100 contracts of Tesla at 315 for today.
100.
What are you having?
Just thinking, 100 is like, what is that? 10,000 shares.
Yeah. Well, we'll buy it.
You're gonna own.
Don't worry about it.
I better get over and get a ride in that Lamborghini one last time.
Right, so Tesla is at R4. Selling some more, guys. Nice.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I got a fill on my Tesla calls. Well, now look at it now. It's like they're at 870. Wow.
SMCI is really losing it.
Yeah, I know. Damn.
Tesla's wants 309.
Yeah,
Sentiment. Yeah, SPY is going to 600. And the way it's going to go up 350, it's going to hit the 350.
Here goes NVIDIA. NVIDIA's popping back up.
NVIDIA is popping back up. Yeah, so Tesla could want something, know something, huh? And I must did it. Right, so the 309.94 is a level on the weekly chart. So we did a rejection there. Let's see. So as you see here, back in 2 weeks ago, back in 2022, we had a couple of really big levels at 315, and then we had one on the week of September 2022. We had this 309. So we did the rejection. Let's see how far we want to go up.
I like that. Not to mention, we just love our community. When I was down in the Algarve, I had one of our traders, one of our sort of newer members, reach out to me. He was living down there, wanted to get together, so found a way to get together in the bar. His name's Daniel, so he's out there today. But we had a nice cock and some good Portugal wine.
Nice. Do you have a picture? You should take pictures always in these meetups.
Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, I know. As soon as he walked out, I thought, oh shit, we should have done selfie. I remember I met some guy in Edinburgh, and I think he was from Russia, and we were gonna take a selfie. He said, no, I had no pictures. Okay.
He was in this program.
Yeah.
Program.
Yeah. He was maybe the KGB were looking for him. He was a spy. Yeah. Yeah. Part-time spy, part-time day trader.
All right, so I'm mostly out of my Tesla shares. I only have the things that I have as those Tesla calls that I'm short at 315, which is not good because it looks like it's going to go up today. That might be a big loss over there. NVDA couldn't really go higher. NVDA just broke down. That collapse.
Yeah,
NVDA was
having some. Yeah, it's having challenges at sort of VWAP, these moving averages. Watch out for see if it does lose that 148 level, because that's been support.
Yeah, NVIDIA would have been a nice short if you could get entry above VWAP, like around 149. I don't want to short it now, but could go to S4 at 175.
Yeah, here it goes. It's going to lose. Maybe lose it here. It's kind of hard to chase. I don't want to chase it here. Might bounce again. All right, I did short it. Cover some. When it blew through that 148 level, still short.
Tesla is still strong.
It's funny how I changed my mind. Here we go. Now I'm covering some more. Ooh, into the 50s. Whee!
Covering what? NVIDIA. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I did. As soon as it looked like it was going to lose that 48 level.
Yeah, I mean, I might jump on this.
Nice, Reagan.
Let's see. Like if
wow.
Tesla is pulling back. $920 on Tesla would be 305, so it's super extended for $920. Let's see more.
I'm just covering some more NVIDIA. 47.35. See if we get to 147. There's an order there.
What is the SPY on the Qs dropping? Was it any data coming down, or? Yeah, NVIDIA is a nice short.
So. Yeah. Well, if we get to
Yeah.
147, then I'll be out. Yeah, come on. A little more. Watch a S4, 146.75. Could be an area where it'll find support. Tesla, our calls are looking good. All of a
Our calls
sudden,
are looking good. It's for average. My calls are not looking good. Still, yeah. I should have waited.
I did the 320s. I got 31 cents for them. I just felt like I needed to go out a little further.
Yeah, I should have waited a little bit longer. So I just jumped in a bit too early. But
Yeah.
now it's back to my entry point. So
Okay, come on here, 147.
yeah, NVDA is super nice. I might actually jump in for a short too. It's kind of extended.
I think it's way too extended now to get in. It looks like it might even hold here. We'll see.
Yeah, let's see. We need a pullback for it to get in there.
Well, there's your pullback.
Tesla is also doing a pullback. You didn't know I'm not gonna short NVDA. It's kind of a not cool trade. Tesla price actually is super bullish today. Unbelievable. Look at these drops are all being bought back up. I'm actually a little bit concerned about these calls that we have. Should we protect that, Brian? Maybe we should buy
Sorry, Brian got
some-
kicked out. He's going to come
By
back in
who?
a sec.
Well,
Not
who
me.
kicked out?
Not me.
All right, so NVDA is weak. SMCI is still weak. SPY is trying to hold the VWAP. Qs are red. Let's see what Tesla is doing. Tesla is still super bullish, super strong. It's 5 minutes closing as a doji. NVDA is gonna go probably to S4. I was thinking of shorting it in this pullback on 1 minute chart. It was a little bit extended now, but we have S4 at 146.75.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Oh, can you hear me? Because I think I got bumped there. I don't know if what happened, but I added to my short at 147.60 on NVIDIA. I don't know if I was still on when I mentioned that, but now I'm covering a lot of it at 146.98 as we lose that 147 level. Oh, NVIDIA, thank you.
Yeah, NVIDIA is going to go to S4. I was thinking of getting in there too. Guys, I covered my shorts on Tesla calls.
Tesla.
Because I needed to protect myself, so I was thinking of maybe either buying some 320 calls to protect myself, or just wait a little bit and see what the price action doing. But it's still super bullish price action. And as you see here, Tesla with that R4 at 307 bounce back. So let's see. I'm going to wait a little bit. Let's see.
Okay, I'm all out of this NVIDIA short. Got down to S4. I don't know if it's going to keep going, but happy
I
with
think
that.
DJT got halted.
DJT. No. It's still. Oh yeah, came out of the halt. Now it's crazy, huh? DJT is crazy. Again, man, DJT. It's crazy, guys.
Yeah.
This is going up to 310. DJT. Anyone trading TJT, guys? Jeez.
Could be 146 for NVIDIA.
Yeah,
Could it be going
there?
I am not. I'm not in there.
I'm gonna get a long on DJT to see if you can get it pop to 32. Get a long on DJT. See if you can get to 32, just for the sake of being part of history.
I'm not touching that.
32. I'm just getting out on that. That was nice history. Don't drop too much. All right, I'm getting out of it.
I'm not having anything to do with that.
I made a little bit of money on that. All right, Tesla is going up, man. Again, 310. I'm glad actually I covered my calls. That would have been that. Tesla is super bullish today. Get that? It's gonna go higher. Unbelievable. I'm glad I actually covered my calls on Tesla for a $3,000 loss. It's crazy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Crazy, yeah. This one is just going up like crazy. Wow. Unbelievable, guys, on Tesla.
NVIDIA is still struggling here. I think it's going to go lower. Might just lose this this level here. Might be heading to 146. 146.
Guys, I'm selling more Tesla.
Let's see.
Tesla. Crazy, guys, Tesla. Wow.
That's where all the money's going today.
I know. It's unbelievable. I should have added more shares in Tesla.
They're selling NVIDIA to buy Tesla.
DJT got halted. That was the quickest scalp on it. %.
Wow.
How's your how much did you sell your Tesla call 320 calls?
31 cents.
You're now 75 cents at the loss on.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna actually thinking of potentially. All the lights in my house are breaking. Nothing works.
Cheap construction.
Like these horror movies, I think there's something like there's a ghost in my.
Ghost in the machine. Qs and SPY are really just kind of chopping. We might end up with a choppy rest of the day here. We'll see. What's Fed watch list? Or Fed rate. People are saying they're still betting that there's going to be another rate cut in December, and then there maybe stand pat. So another 140 days. December, 68%. I think there's going to be another rate cut.
60% what?
68%.
Another rate?
Another rate cut for the December 18th meeting. Well, nice bounce on NVIDIA right off yesterday's low. Finally found some support there.
So let's go back up to 312. I think 315 is possibility of a good, very good.
What do they got for the January meeting?
Targets. NVDA is bouncing back from S4.
Yeah, it's bouncing back from that from previous day low.
Getting out more on Tesla, guys. We're gonna go to 315, I think. Very, very, very possible. Unbelievable, guys, in Tesla. Unbelievable. Look at that, 5%.
What a bounce on NVIDIA. Wow. A big bounce on the Qs and the SPY. Buying brigade came in.
What a beautiful sunrise behind me, guys. You have to see this. What a beautiful sunrise.
Yeah, look at that. It's pretty colorful, eh?
Yeah, super nice. All right, I think Tesla has the room to test the 315. DJT, what should you stay from DJT? It's super volatile. Like risk management is really difficult on DJT. You want to make sure that you are not really getting chopped up all the time on this huge volatile price action. You should be able to manage your risk. So that's very important in any stock that you're selecting for trading. It's super important to have to let's see Tesla. I'm out most of my shares on Tesla. Now it's on 5-minute chart, it's still making higher high and higher low. Definitely very extended on 1-minute chart. Jared, what do you think about Tesla? Do you think it continue going higher or give us a pullback or something? Super extended, huh?
Yes. Oh, and Jared's posting images. Hopefully they're
What is
hopefully
that?
they're G-rated.
Well, now the question is it a good idea or is it a bad idea? Yeah, this price action is super, super bullish. So, like, every dip is being bought back up. Eventually, it somewhere has to do a more bigger pullback. But on a 5-minute chart, look at that. Super bullish. Still higher high and higher low in 5 minutes. Very strong.
Yeah, still big order at 315.
Yeah, I think it's most likely it's gonna hit the 315. Dude, I'm glad I covered my 315 position. It's now at $2.20. I sold it at like 70 cents, 80 cents. Now it's 3 times higher. It was a 300% loss. Oh, man, this fucking Tesla. Nice. Anyone, guys, doing anything? Today is really epic, definitely. Today is definitely very epic, for sure. Tesla's gonna go up to 315. Should we add or is it a bit too late? It's my average on Tesla. 302. I'm gonna add a little bit here on Tesla for the 315. Let's see. Daily charts. Oh, unbelievable. Unbelievable, this company. So it's gonna go to 313.59 is the high of those consolidations back in 2022. Oh, there you go. Popped up. So I'm partially out more, guys, on Tesla.
I wish I still had some calls there. Some of those and those 300 calls now are over almost $14. Damn. Got into them just around
Did you sell them
4
all?
too. Yeah, I sold
Did
them
you
all.
sell them all?
I sold them all. Yeah, I sold them all. I got double on some of them.
Double bubble, huh? Nice.
Double bubble.
Brian, here's the situation. The situation is not
There's a
really good.
situation.
The situation in our calls are not good at all. Crazy.
No, well, I'm glad I didn't take 100. That's for sure. We're getting to S6 or R6, which is around 315.22.
This is a gamma squeeze. How's everyone doing?
SPY back at
Gary Hill
day.
is a good trader. Add zeros. You guys are really good traders. So NVDA is coming back up too. SMCI as well.
Mm-hmm.
Elon Musk must be super happy now. John, how's your buddy Elon Musk doing? See, you don't have time to the tweet so much. Must be in the private jet all the time, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
So looking forward to. So my average on Tesla is at 312.91. So not super close because I was out mostly. I stopped out as soon as it's still very bullish price action is happening on Tesla.
Yeah.
Very price
you
action
can
is
still
still
see it. Pullbacks are immediately bought. Wow, that 15-minute chart on Tesla's pretty epic.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. One will pop on that. Setting more Tesla here. Very epic, man. This is unbelievable. What a beautiful move on it. What was at the open? Was it pretty much flat? Was it? Yeah.
Yeah, it was up a little bit, but not much. Pulled back. Did typical little pullback at the open.
Spies
And
going
then
up
it
to
just
600.
rocketed. Yeah, SPY's breaking out here. We're at high day.
Spies 600, yeah. So mostly out again on Tesla, guys, on share size. NVDA, yeah, I was thinking of shorting NVDA, but no, it's really forming a really good
No,
bottom.
it's actually doing kind of a 920 right now.
On a short side.
Yeah, for a short, but I don't know if I'd short it. I don't have a good feeling about it. It kind of already broke through the 9 once and then pulled back, and then it went through the 9 again. So it was kind of and it made a higher low. So that's what makes me would make me hesitate to do a 920 on this. It already broke out once. Second breakout on a higher low wouldn't be as predictable.
There's no news at Tesla, is it? Or it's just the normal strength
Just
after election?
Just everybody's just chasing it. Chasing it up.
Chase it up. Chase it up.
It's been it's been a great trade last couple of days.
We're getting out more, guys. What about YouTube, guys? You guys are LLY. What do you have in there? LLY.
Lily. So what's going on with Lily?
Lilly's moving up slowly too. Lilly's the insulin company, huh?
Yeah, Eli Lilly.
SPY 600 we want. SPY 600.
Maybe next week.
No. Today SPY 600 is a little bit too much. It's a little bit too much to ask.
Yeah. Although you never know. I mean, the day is still young.
I mean, you can ask Tesla to go up to 320, but I don't think The SPY 600 is a little bit too much. That's a lot of market cap. All right, so let's see what the Tesla is doing at 315, which is a round number. Still very strong, high, low on 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Very super strong bullish. Shorting it was
Yeah,
not a
there's
good idea.
315.
There you go. Here we go, 316.
Crazy.
Wow. Wow, 317. Wow. This is crazy. Wow. What happened with this company in 2 days? Wow.
Tch, 317.
Crazy, Brian. Wow, unbelievable. And not even a single pullback.
No. Yeah, it wants 320 now.
Now there's some big bids showing themselves, so alrighty. I don't think it's a trap, honestly. This one is super strong. It's one of the biggest days probably at Tesla had in a very long time. It's up 7%. Maybe 20, yeah, most likely it's gonna go up. So it broke out all of those levels that we had back in 2022. The next levels that we have are at 329, 325 would be probably. There's no sign of there's no sign of pullback either. Look at that.
Yeah.
Selling more, guys.
I think easily 320.
Phil is coming actually. So the next we wanted to bring Phil. Phil is one of our options trader actually. That he's a pretty good options trader with a small account. I think he's really trading with $2,000-3,000, and he's actually making really good money as a small option trader. So he wants to talk about reading the finding the clues of a good trade. So essentially, trade identification. As part of the trades that we have, trade book that we have. So identification of the trade before actually making the trade is super important. To know, okay, I want to go long or I want to go short from there. And Phil wants to talk about his perspective on how to find these really clues that a trade is forming, and I have to be ready for it. So plan, my share size and risk management and everything. So Phil, buddy, how are you?
Hey, good.
Right.
Can you guys hear me?
I
can hear you.
hearing you loud and clear. Yes.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, thanks for the intro, Andrew.
Of course, yeah. So that's super important. I mean, I'm writing a book right now, a trade book. So that I go through. It's more than a strategy, like 5 minute opinion range breakout. It's more than that. It's actually how you can have this trade identification. So essentially, I have multiple parts: the stock selection, trade identification, and then trade execution, which is entry, exit, stop loss, adding, or trade management, and then of course the considerations that you have at the end of it. So now I think what you want to talk about is the part of the trade identification before you actually start entering the trade. Getting some clues of the price action and what's happening. Is that what I'm getting it right from your topic?
Yeah, you're nailing it. For me, over the years, I've kind of come to the conclusion that, you can't just look at one factor of price action, and jump in for something. You're almost bound to fail over time if you're just, say, looking at a pattern for your entry, or if you're just looking at, a specific strategy like a ORB, but you're not taking into account other things. So it's almost like good trading is detective work in a way, where you want to be looking at multiple things. You want to be looking at a pattern. You want to be looking at an entry criteria like a ORB. You want to be looking at Bookmap to see if there is liquidity above or below price in the direction of your bias. And then you want to be looking at what's happening in the moment with buyers and sellers. Is there more selling than buying? Is there more buying than selling? And all of those clues assembled into, they kind of assemble into the perfect storm that tells you whether or not you should jump into a trade. I also forgot to mention Camarilla pivot points as well. That's a huge clue for me. So yeah, I actually have a Tesla trade from a couple days ago before the election. It was a short trade. Now it's going absolutely nuts to the upside. But I want to take a look at this Tesla trade, and kind of just show the audience the clues that I was looking at. And I actually ended up going in on it with double size, and because all the clues were there, and had a great day that day. So
it's a swing trade. Yes, it's not it was not a day trade. No.
No, this was a day trade. I got a quick dump in the morning, and I want to go through the clues that showed me that I should jump in, when I did. So let's see. I'll toggle my screen share. Yeah. So the first thing I'm generally looking at is the daily chart. I want to see some type of technical pattern that shows me that price is breaking out of a previously established range. I'm a big breakout trader, so whether that is a daily range, whether it's a 60-minute chart range, I am always looking for some type of range break, because what that means is that there are certain participants that are getting, they're now uncomfortable. So if you're looking for a long and you've had this consolidation pattern of, however long it is, you want to see that price is getting to the upside outside of a range. And, what that's doing is you're inspiring other longs in that moment to go long, but also everyone who was short in that range is now underwater and they need to get out. So they need to buy to get out, and generally they're buying with market orders. So that's what we're looking for. So what you see here with this Tesla trade, so this is a daily chart on Tesla, and you can see it's generally within the longer term range that Tesla's been in, from like July up until now. But what I was looking for was Tesla here was opening very close to the bottom of this previous low from a few days before. And you have to be careful with something like this, because it can squeeze out of here. And this is actually a great example of a quick push down, and then it did basically a V reversal that day and did squeeze out. But all you need to do is identify where a batch of longs might be scared enough to get out, and you just have to capitalize on 1 to 3 minutes of some scared selling in this case, and that's your trade. That's your day right there. Doesn't matter what it does after that, as long as you can capture that. So what I was looking at was Tesla was opening up below this low here from 5-6 days before, and it had this big gap area, which you generally are looking at gap fills to at least partially fill. So I was looking at this loss of this low and it pushing down into this gap. And I want to zoom in now to show you what that looked like on the 1 minute chart. So clue number 2 for me was this right here. So clue number 2 was that right where Tesla was opening this day was right around S4, Camarilla point. So S4 is kind of an extreme level where, if price is going to seek new value, from a short perspective, you would want to see it lose S4, and generally, that's where sellers pile in for some period of time. So, so we looked at the daily chart. We saw that Tesla was opening at about the low or a little bit below, that low from previous days. And on the 1 minute chart, you could see that it was at S4 at the very beginning of the day. So I was looking for a loss of S4, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but this blue line here is VWAP as well. So I was watching this, and you have this tight range here that it had formed in the pre-market as well. So these were buyers and sellers both hoping that either price would go up or down. In this case, the buyers were wrong, and so when the selling came in at S4 and it lost VWAP, and I was looking for a short, and I got in on my first entry, right around here as it lost VWAP, and then so I was already in a good full-size trade there. And then as Tesla pushed down, I noticed another clue. So clue number 2 was S4. Clue number 1 was it opening below a previous, a previous established range's low. So, so now we're on to clue number 3 for this trade for me, which was watching Bookmap to see what was going on. So let's see here. I love Bookmap. It's a tool that has absolutely, revolutionized my trading. Couldn't have learned how to read it anywhere else than Variable Traders. So, some of the resources on Bookmap are incredible. But let's look at what Bookmap was telling us for this trade as well. So when Tesla opened, I noticed that there were all of these huge orders stacked to the downside. Look at all these things. This is just a clear indication that there is liquidity below. There are big buyers waiting for price to come to them below price. So this was clue number 3 here for me, that Tesla was going to go lower. You had it, just how it looked on the daily chart. You had it opening in a selling range, below at around S4. You had volume coming in, and you had all of these orders below. Now, another tool that I absolutely love here on Bookmap that Thor has got me into looking at is this down here. So this is let's see, can you guys see that? Can you see my CVD? Might not be coming in on the screen.
Yeah, we can see that. Yeah, we can see that.
You can see it? Okay, so as Tesla, was at the beginning of this sell-off, the CVD. This was a screenshot taken later in the day, so it doesn't reflect what was happening in that trade. But at the time, the CVD was very, very red. So what CVD stands for cumulative volume delta, and that is showing you whether there is more buying or more selling going on in a given moment. You can have a stock that's dropping, but there's actually more buying occurring at that time. So that would be sort of a red flag for a short if CVD is green, because there might be some accumulation going on before a big move up. But in this case with Tesla, CVD was red. It was very red, and the 15-minute, the shorter term CVD that I have here, was just getting redder and redder as every second went by. So that just shows you that there was significant selling occurring. So I want to, take a look. So that's clue number 4 right there. And, I just want to show you guys what this trade looked like. I mean, clue number 5, if we want to even stack on more, is that the Qs were selling off at that time too. You do always want to keep an eye on what the overall markets are doing. So, I have a hard time, totally watching the Qs or SPY as I'm trying to identify another trade. It's just kind of tough to go back and forth, but it is good to, in your periphery, keep an eye on what the overall market was doing. And I did notice that, the Qs at that moment were selling off as well. So that's, clue number 5 for this trade. Let's take a look one more time at this 1 minute setup. So what did we get? So we got, Tesla sold off from S4, huge selling, huge aggressive selling all the way down to around the S6 level. And then buyers came in and it actually reversed. And I think ended the day quite green that day. I'm not totally sure on that, but I do know that it hit down here, just below S6. You had a buying or a selling climax here, in these candles, and then buyers just stepped in and price basically V-reversed off of that. So my trades that day looked like this, and it's one of the first times I've actually gone in with full double size on a trade. I got this first dump. I did get in here in this first candle as Tesla lost VWAP. And then, I did note it, there is generally you're going to get a pullback. So once I saw this pullback and it didn't make it back through VWAP and all of those other clues were in place, I did jump in short with another set of puts on this. So I had 2 trades going. I was risking 2R now on this trade. And both of them ended up getting to my 4R target. And I'll just show you what this looked like. So Tesla trade 1, and that actually might have been trade 2. But let's see. Tesla option trade. Here we go. Yep. So this was actually trade 1. So you can see I jumped in. I grabbed some contracts at about the $200 per contract mark, and boom, that went from 200 in just a few minutes. That went from 200 to around 260, and that's my 4R move. So I got all out on that, and then I was in the second trade here, and this one you can see I got in right on that pullback that we saw. So I basically nailed that pullback perfectly, and then held that one through. And you can see partial. Ended up getting a little more on that one because I held it down to S6. So that was just 2 4R trades in a few minutes on Tesla, and it then bought for the rest of the day. But I got that move of scared buyers that decided to sell and get out, even though buying came in right after. But I got my 2 4R trades, and that was a great day. That was, with a $2,000 account, that was about $500 profit. So that's the power of options.
Yeah, that's. I know you're one of the big advocates of trading options on a small share size. It's amazing, and I know you have a webinar on there as well. So if anyone wants to really know how to trade options on a very small account, like I'm talking about $2,000. A lot of people say, hey, Andrew, can't take the share size that you're taking. I think watch the webinar that you have on Education Center, and just reach out to Phil. He's always helping people, understand these small account trading with options. You're coming to Colombia too, yes? We never actually met in person, so love to see you in Colombia in person.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The weather is getting cold here in New York, so give me those tropical vibes down in Colombia. It's gonna be great meeting everybody.
Guys. For those of you guys coming to Colombia, so we're gonna actually see Phil, and trading is part of our program in Colombia. So actually, we trade together. We can ask these questions in person next to each other. All right, so that's it. Phil.
Yep. Thanks, Andrew.
Perfect. Thank you so much, guys, on YouTube. I really appreciate that. So Tesla crazy did it bounce? Tesla is doing a 920 right now. That is super nice, very interesting. Going back up to the half today. I'm all flat actually on my Tesla position. So we'll
Right.
see how it goes. Yeah. Thanks. Back to the chat room. Ciao. Thanks, YouTube guys. See
Ciao,
you next week.
everybody. Thanks. Yeah, thanks on YouTube. Have a great weekend.